I'm so excited because this is a first on the School of Greatness.
Sadia, this is what he brought us here for. What do you think he set this up for?
All right, you guys ready?
We have the inspiring Sadia Khan in the house, who is an incredible
psychologist and dating coach.
One of the best psychologists in the game, Sadia Khan.
And we have Matthew Hussey.
Matthew Hussey is a New York Times bestselling author, speaker,
dating and relationships expert and coach Matthew Hussey.
When someone is playing a game, either texting or on dates, what is that saying about them?
They're entering a relationship with a desire to preserve their ego rather than truly connect with that person.
Wow, that's interesting.
I could not text you back for 3 days. And if you're the person who buys into the illusion that that must make me more valuable, then I can raise my value simply by ignoring you for 3 days.
So there is self-preservation, but in the process is self-destruction.
Wow. Okay.
For you, it's that men want connection, but women are so jaded at this point that they're not offering it.
Yeah.
I have to say, that feels like the vast minority of women.
What you're really signaling is, I'm so desperate to be loved that I'll push it away and make you think that I don't want it.
I truly believe in my bones, the more in life you accept yourself and every part of yourself, you see more people as wonderful, not less.
Welcome back, everyone, to the School of Greatness. Very excited about this special episode. We have two relationship experts and coaches in the house today. We have Sadia Khan and we have Matthew Hussey. Sadia is a psychologist and a relationship coach that works with people all over the world with well over 100 million views on your videos. Matthew Hussey, over 500 million views on his videos, New York Times bestselling author. And both of them, you both help people navigate relationships, relationship dynamics, social, human dynamics, dating scene, people in relationships, going through breakups. So we're going to talk about a lot of these different things today. And I'm so excited because this is a first on the School of Greatness. So thank you both for being here. I've known you both for a while. I know personal things about both of you, which I'm excited about. I'm not going to say the things, but I know personal things about both of you.
Yeah.
And I see the work you do professionally as well. And I'm excited to see what unfolds here today. This first conversation is going to be talking about when you're single or dating. And there's a lot of talk about red flags. You see this almost every title of every video right now. What are the red flags? And what I want to ask you guys first is about the green flags. And why do people tend to sabotage when they actually have green flags in front of them with a person they're dating, experiencing, getting to know? Why do some people tend to sabotage that when they actually have someone who's not toxic in front of them? And I'll start with ladies first. That when you see that, or when someone sees that, I don't know if you have girlfriends that are like, yeah, he was like just a great guy, but I sabotaged it. Why does that happen for men or women? Is it because they're emotionally unavailable? Is it because they've never seen someone in a healthy relationship with themselves before? Why would you say?
I would say that their barrier to intimacy has become their self-esteem. Unfortunately for them, and it happens to a lot of people, they have developed a core belief about themselves, either through their childhood or through adult relationships, where they believe that love should be a struggle, it should be difficult, and it shouldn't be smooth sailing. And when it is smooth, and somebody does show them love and compassion, because they don't have love and compassion for themselves, they start to question the judgment of the person who is showing them love. And they start to think there's something wrong in that person. And the smoothness that they acquire in the relationship is something that they're just not used to. And they have attributed love to being chaotic, difficult, turbulent. When it's not like that, they just think that they haven't got an attachment. They think in order for me to be loved, I should be obsessing over them. I should be wondering what they're doing. I should be checking their social media. I should be anxious. When the anxiety is stripped of love, they think it's deprived of its fundamental ingredient, when really it's being infused with peace, which they're just not used to.
Wow, that's interesting. I love that we started with this right now. I don't know if that's something that you would relate to, or if you agree with, or you think there's something else to add there.
No, I think it comes from different places. Familiarity is, it drives us so often in life. And familiarity doesn't really care whether something is good or bad, just that it's known. And I never used to, I remember in my 20s, I never used to understand what people meant when they said like fear of success, because I was like, why would anyone be afraid of success? And then I realized I probably was afraid of success. Like anytime things got too hot, anytime like I felt like everything was a runaway train, I would find myself getting nervous. And why was I getting nervous? Well, because it was just unknown. It was like I'd never gone that far before. I'd never been there. And unknown territory is just unknown territory. When things feel unfamiliar, we get afraid of them. They feel disconcerting. They can feel boring, strange. And so it's our body has a way of searching for what is familiar. I also think it shouldn't be discounted that there are certain feelings that just feel good.
What are those feelings?
Well, it's like eating pizza. Like eating pizza does feel good.
Yeah.
It's not good
Even
for
though it's
you.
bad for you. Yeah.
Right. There is something it gives. There's something that foods that are bad for you or substances that are bad for you give you that is a feeling that is quite addictive, and you want to chase it. And of course, a lot of us pay the price over time for chasing those things. And I think sometimes we have to acknowledge that there are certain kinds of people that feel good in the very beginning. There is a certain kind of charm. There is a certain kind of charisma that feels really good.
Yeah, inconsistency is addictive. Yeah.
Inconsistency and even just like a kind of superficial charm can be exciting.
Yeah.
And someone's at a dinner table and they tell you great stories and they captivate you, and there is a kind of like, you want
this
to be
person's
around,
amazing.
I want to be around that person.
Well, speaking into that, then, what would you say are the most addictive, I guess, emotions that are unhealthy that people get addicted to when they're dating and they're starting a relationship? What are those unhealthy addictions around emotions?
In my personal experience of working with clients that come to me, particularly men, when they come to me and they're in these kind of addictive habits, they get addicted to shallow substances like appearance and sex. Usually when they when they find themselves in emotionally abusive situations, it's because they've placed all of their satisfaction in her appearance and the sexual gratification they receive. And it's almost like a shortcut to an ego boost. And they place that on a pedestal, and that becomes their conflict resolution is sex. It becomes their form of status, is that she gives them that appearance when they walk around. They don't look for somebody on the same level of them in terms of appearance. They shoot above their shot. They go a bit higher than what they should be going for. And as a result, they become like a slave and submissive to her behavior simply because she possesses that sexual quality that they've been craving for a really long time. Particularly if they're a man who haven't had access to women throughout their childhood and throughout their life. And so when they do meet a beautiful girl, they allow her beauty to determine their attachment rather than her character. And that becomes very addictive from a male gaze, in my experience. And I don't know as two men, but does sex have that much of a power over them where they can blur their vision on all other characteristics?
I hate to say this, but I'm guilty of this in my past.
It happens?
Well, I mean, it's blinding for a period of time until it isn't.
Right.
So and when you think that the character is also there, then you're like, wow, this is unbelievable. But then, I personally, just experienced in my past, I was kind of blinded by that, the beauty and the sexual attraction. And then when I realized that certain values weren't consistent with words, they weren't matching, over time, you get disinterested in the beauty. You're like, okay,
Does it take something to snap men out of that when they're in that kind of intoxicated stage? Pain.
Suffering, heartbreak, sadness,
Sadly.
depression. It's like a dis-ease, whether it be an emotional dis-ease or physical dis-ease. For me, I think it was kind of both. Whereas like I had to just feel like, man, I don't feel myself. I feel like I'm giving up who I am to try to please someone else. And they're never happy. No matter what I do, how much I change, who I become, it's not enough. And it was exhausting.
Yeah.
And I think that's when I realized, oh, okay, I chose a certain relationship based out of a wound. Everything you were saying was like speaking to my like wounded child. It was like, okay, yeah, no girls liked me when I was younger. I didn't have any attention.
Did you suffer with that? Because you were an athlete, no?
When I was in my teens, it changed. When I was younger, it was like you didn't get the attention. So when I was choosing based out of a wounded me, it was like, oh, okay, here's this beautiful opportunity or this experience or whatever it might be. And that was captivating in some ways. Right? That was pulling me in, drawing me in.
And
so
it made you forgive other unacceptable behavior in the moment?
In the moment, but then you after a period of time, it was like, okay, you wake up. I woke up.
Yeah.
And I think those lessons allowed me to have wisdom and being like, okay, well, that's not really everything. You know, just beauty and sexual connection is not, does not necessarily mean long-term happiness in a relationship.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, maybe it is, but there has to be other values and things that match, things like that.
It shouldn't be
So-
the primary filter,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
and you're saying that a lot of men that you're working with, or that you see, get addicted to sexual connection or beauty
and attractiveness.
and attractiveness
And they'll
first,
come
and how it
to
makes
me,
them feel.
Yeah, they'll come to me believing it's some childhood trauma, and they'll think it's that, but really it boils down to how much of a priority they've made sex and beauty. And I know it's difficult in this day and age with the advent of pornography and social media, where beauty is the main kind of component of women that we're seeing, but it makes them stuck in a way that they can't explain to themselves. And only when I say, is the sexual chemistry the best you've had? And they're like, yes, it's the best I've ever had. The moment I hear that, I'm like, that's why it's become your glue.
They're addicted to it.
They're addicted to it.
So, and this is something that I think people should try.
Yeah.
If they've found themselves in kind of addictive patterns in previous relationships, try being with someone and not having sex for a period of time. Wait as long as you can. I'm not saying wait forever, but you know, wait a month, 2-3 months. For me, you know, with Martha, we waited for a long time, and allowed me to say, oh, do I actually want to spend time with this person if we don't have sex? And I would want everyone to ask themselves the question, if I did not have sex with the person I'm dating right now, would I want to be with them?
Exactly.
Or would it be too much stress and trouble?
Would I be addicted to them?
Yeah, but exactly. I don't know. What do you see women, in your perspective, struggling with in terms of the emotional addictions in dating or in relationship patterns? What is that? Is it sex chemistry, or are you seeing it's something else with the women you work with?
I was going to say, I feel like you guys are giving women too much credit. You're letting them off a little lightly. It happens
I don't get access as much to the female perspective, and it's the same kind of, you would imagine.
I don't think there's. I'm not seeing a huge difference between men and women in this department at all.
Oh wow, interesting.
I think that women get attracted sexually. They get attracted to someone's looks. To you know,
is it more the sexual or the material or the status that women are attracted to? Like, here's a beautiful, handsome man, a sexy man, or is it more, oh, he's got status and money and that makes him sexy?
I think the myth is that it's just all women go around looking for status and money, and that, you know, when they see status walk into a room, they're like, yes, please. And if that were true, then every
with that.
Rich dude that walked into a room would be the hottest property around. And we just know that's not true. A lot of guys who make a lot of money get to that point and realize, oh my God, I need help in meeting women.
Really?
Because I'm not good at it.
They struggle the most.
Really, because they've spent, so many men spend their whole lives trying to achieve a certain level of status or money, thinking that at some point there's going to be a door they're going to open in the money world or the status world. And when they walk through that door, all of a sudden women are going to come flocking.
It doesn't happen.
And then
all
they
the time.
find that they're the lonely guy at the party who no one's talking to. And it turns out it still matters to be able to go and talk to someone. It still matters to be able to carry yourself in a certain way where there's something about you or there's an ability in conversation. So I keep losing out to the 25-year-old dude, a hot surfer who's broke, who walks into the room and is the one getting the attention. So I think there is this myth among men that all our problems will be figured out if we could just make enough money and if we could just get enough status. And I think there's this myth among women that, or about women, that they're not they're not driven in by charisma and looks and sexiness, and that, they don't care about those. Men are superficial. They care about those things. Women don't care about those things. Not my experience. My experience of women is that they're just as interested in all of those superficial things that can lure any of us away from deeper values or how someone treats us. It's not to say that there's not an appeal for some people to someone who's got their life under control, but no, I don't think we should let women off so lightly when it comes to being attracted to the superficial.
Interesting. Now, Sadia, you've said that you work mostly with men, or more men seem to watch your content, and you work one-on-one with more with men. Matthew, you've leaned more towards working with women, your content towards women, although both of you guys work with, any human being in all genders. But I'm curious, Matthew, with you, when a woman has gone through your workshop or maybe watched your content or, been a part of your community for a while, and then they say, okay, I'm ready to go out there and meet a guy. And there seems like a really healthy, good, kind, compassionate, value-driven, spiritual, healthy, conscious man in front of me. And for whatever reason, she's unable to be excited about that. What is that saying about that woman in your mind if she is unable to lean into the green flags of a healthy potential mate in front of her? Does she still need work to do? Is she just not emotionally available herself? What does she need to start the process of doing? So when she sees someone who's healthy, she can actually be attracted to them and work towards building a relationship.
Welcome to my course on masculinity, and in this course not only will I be able to completely transform your understanding of women, but on a more personal level you will enhance your self-esteem, self-respect and your boundaries. The goal of this course is to take a man that has absolutely fantastic intentions, wants to find love, wants to commit, wants to have a good healthy relationship, but is finding that he's constantly running into women who are narcissistic, who are disrespectful, who are disloyal. Now, if you are finding that continuously, then there must be something in your engagement with women that is causing this. What my course will do is look at where this problem comes from, how to resolve it, how to communicate effectively with men and women, and how to command respect. Most importantly, how to improve your self-respect. And throughout the course, you'll be given interactive sessions, but with course materials to help you channel and journal your learning. So if you are interested in becoming the most masculine version of yourself, join today.